Hello, it's Tracy Daviero here with you from Kava, Gava, and your VA Mentor. And this is take two of our weekly live from yesterday. I had all my tech issues because Live Producer does not work with Google Chrome anymore. So, well, anyway, long story short, the message that you get says that it only works with Firefox and or Google Chrome beta. And I'm a Google Chrome person. I've used it for a long time. So I tried that. It didn't really work. So I went with Firefox yesterday. And as we know, that did not turn out. Apparently, it was choppy delivery on the video in the live piece of it. And it actually cut me off 5 minutes before I was actually done the call. And it didn't give me any indication. As a matter of fact, when I tried to end the live video afterwards, I kept clicking end live video and it just kept looping and it would not let me quit. So I don't think it worked particularly well in Firefox either. But I have great news because I got online this morning and tried to figure it out. Actually downloaded Google Chrome beta, and it's just a different browser. I don't know if it's a newer one or whatever it is, but anyway, that's what I'm using. And so I've already successfully done a live this morning on that, and that's why I knew I could come back here and do and take two for you for creating marketing content. So I'll just go back and delete the other one after we know that this one works. So welcome. Glad you're here. Just wanted to talk about creating marketing content. I know a lot of VAs have, and you know, if you watched yesterday's video, this is not going to be the same. I do these all literally live, so I don't even remember what I talked about yesterday. I have my 4 points that I do want to talk to you about, and I'll cover those. But if I said something different yesterday, well, that's the way the chips fall sometimes. So today's live, and today is the same topic, but may contain a little bit different information if wherever my brain takes me today. So anyway, creating marketing content is something that I think that VAs struggle with quite a bit actually, and they often tell me that they don't know what to post, they don't know what they should be writing, and if they do start to put things out there, they sometimes get a little bit confused, and by they I mean you know, and I've done this. You know, you get confused as to whether it is good, or I might see it and think that it's not appropriate or it's not something that you should be, you know, that you should be writing about. So I'll give you a quick example of, you know, a lot of new VAs that I know write about, and I will say write, when I talk about creating marketing content, of course we know there's lots of different ways that you can create content. I will say write all the time, even though if you're not writing blogs or anything like that. Just take it from the perspective that, you know, creating the content in whatever media you decide that you want to do that, medium you decide you want to do that. So, but what I see is a lot of new VAs will write about being a VA. And although it's very interesting topic to you, it is not an interesting topic for your audience. They don't want to know all the ins and outs of being a VA and how it works and what they do. What they do want to know is how you can help them. And so if talking about being a VA or working somehow virtually is something that comes into supporting them, which is perfectly natural, that is okay. But other than that, writing about how great it is to be a VA, how you started your business, and all those kinds of things, it's not important content for you to put out to market your business, okay? It's definitely stuff that you can share if that's what you want to talk about and you want to tell people about how you got started and, you know, what your day looks like on a regular basis and that kind of thing. But when we're talking about marketing content, the content that you produce has to be about your audience, has to be about the people that you want to move into action to, you know, start working with you, right? To call you, to set up a conversation. So the simplest way to do this, so that's, you know, sort of the overarching piece of it, is that, you know, you really have to have your audience in mind. You're not going to write, you know, you're not going to write a book or write a movie about something that is interesting to you. You're going to write it so that it's interesting to the people who will view it, because it's the audience who pays for things and, you know, buys things and hires you. Those are the people that you need to move into action. So it's very important to remember that the audience is the most important piece of your content. So in order to start figuring out what it is that you can put out there or what you should be putting out there, I often suggest with just starting with some categories. You know, if you go to a blog and you see somebody has a bunch of categories, I'm not a big fan of somebody having 25 categories, but I've also been recommended by a branding expert, or have, have had a branding expert recommend that you do 4 or 5 categories. And for me, that's just a little bit limiting because I create a lot of content. But to start with, it's really good advice to say, okay, start with four categories. Just pick 4 things that you can write about. For instance, if you are a bookkeeper, and this is the same example from yesterday's video, if you're a bookkeeper, you could start with, one category being expenses or organizing your expenses, something like that. And another category could be tips and resources, which I think that all virtual assistants should have a tips and resources category, and I'll talk about that in a second too. Third thing, maybe timing, special dates, that kind of thing, things that you can talk about through the year. And so, and a fourth one could be services, I don't know, services that you can, or taxes, right? Lots of information there that you can always be sharing. And so it's not to say limit you to talk about those 4 things, but what choosing 4 categories helps you do is it helps you really focus on what it is that you're going to write about. Now, here's your category. Now you have to decide some topics that you can write about underneath those particular things. So tips and resources is always great. How to do things online, how to work with a VA to, and that's, see, it's important to bring that into it, but it's not, it's important to look at it from the client perspective. How to work with a VA if you have always had like a face-to-face bookkeeper. Maybe you're going to talk about the different services online that you can use, QuickBooks, Wave, FreshBooks, whatever all of those things are. Maybe do some demonstrations of this is how you do things. People love how-tos, especially in terms of content. If you can show them how to do this in QuickBooks or how to do this in Wave or how to do this on a spreadsheet or something like that, those are really, really good posts as well. All of that kind of thing. So you want to start with your categories so that you have a focus on what it is that you're going to write about or create content around. And by doing 4, you can do one week, next another, another one the next week, another and another. So you have 4 rolling categories that you can write about. It makes it easier to, if you sit down at your computer and you're not sure what you're going to create, that can take a lot of time. I know if I sit down and I really haven't fleshed out what it is that I'm going to be creating or writing about, I just oftentimes get up and just decide that this isn't the right time to do it. If I have to put 3 times as much thought into something because I have not prepared for what it is that I'm going to do, it's just better for me to do that prep work and then sit down to write it another time. And I'd suggest you do the same thing. But it's really easy. You say, okay, this week I'm writing about tips and resources. This week I'm writing about organization. This week I'm doing taxes. This week I'm doing expenses. And you can just rotate through that, and you can actually collect information through the week for what it is that you're going to write the following week. So 4 categories is a really good thing to do. Second piece is that you want to use some kind of media that you are comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with writing, figure out how to, because I always say if you can start with a blog post, you can repurpose that into a lot of different things. But if you find writing hard, maybe images is your thing, and maybe you're doing a lot of your marketing on Pinterest or Instagram, or I said TikTok yesterday too. I'm like, I don't even understand business TikTok. Haven't seen anybody in business on TikTok, but apparently it's a thing. So if video is your thing, and TikTok and Instagram and all of those things are good for you, or you think that they're good for you for marketing your business, fantastic. For me, it's always been Facebook and LinkedIn. It's just those are the 2 easiest things. It was Twitter a long time ago, but I've really pulled my stuff off of Twitter as much as possible because it's not a place that, I have a lot of followers and that kind of thing, but it's not a place that I'm engaging with people. So figure out where it is that you are and what it is that you feel comfortable doing. Because if you're not comfortable doing something, if you struggle to do video, you're going to put it to the bottom of the list and you're not going to do it, or you're not going to do it well, or you're not going to want to share it with people because you feel self-conscious about it, whatever it is. I didn't like doing video whenever I first started either, but now I'm totally comfortable with it. It doesn't matter to me what I look like. It matters to me what I say. It matters that I'm putting videos out there regularly, and I try to get the lighting right. I try to get the atmosphere right. I try to say all the right things, but at the same time, it's something that's occurring live. So you really just want to get your personality across in any of the marketing that you're putting out there. So do what you're comfortable with. Do what your customers want. If your customers are responding to video, and you can see that if you're looking in, you're networking in the right areas, and and you are you're seeing the people that you would like to work with, and you're networking with them, or you're in connection with them anywhere, you can see what they're reacting to. Are they reacting to images that people are posting, like motivational quotes or tips and resources? Are they reacting to videos? Are they reacting to blog posts? What are they reacting to? They're reacting to just wordy social media posts, like the really super long ones that people are posting on Instagram and Facebook or LinkedIn? Are they responding to things that people are sharing of others? Like what is that is really getting out there, and what is it that's causing them to interact with the people who are posting? And that's what you want to be able to focus on too. Understanding your audience is really key to being able to market to them well. And the number 4 thing is just consistency. And everybody will say this to you in terms of marketing. You don't have to do a ton of marketing in a ton of different places. And in fact, you shouldn't. You should really focus on just 1 or 2 until you get them going really well. And then it's just a matter of checking in on them, right? So I start with Facebook and get in there and start to do the things that you're doing. Or start with your blog and put your blog in various, places, and links and little social media posts that can promote them. Don't just post your blog title somewhere and expect somebody to be able to go and look for it. I write 5 blog posts, social media posts, pardon me, for every blog post that I write. So I've got 5 different ways of describing what's in the article, and I put those in various places on my social media channels. And people see them and they go to my blog and they look at my blog because of what I've posted there, not because I've posted a blog title. So it's really important to be able to do that. But you want consistency. You want to be able to remain top of mind everywhere that you go. So you want to be able to, post on Facebook all the time. And all the time to you might be twice a week, right? It doesn't need to be every day. It doesn't need to be 5 times a day, but it needs to be more than once a month. You're going to fall out of people's news feeds. The algorithms will not pick you up unless you're doing something consistently. And this is, social media across the board, right? Same thing with your blog or your emails if you're doing a newsletter. If you're not doing a newsletter regularly, you're not in your client's inbox or your audience's inbox all the time. And so if they do see something, they may miss it. I know my inbox is absolutely packed with stuff, even though I unsubscribe to people all the time. It's just a really busy place. And when I see the same person coming up all the time, I'm more apt to click on something that they've sent me. So, and then the last little point is just simple is best. Whatever you can do, you just want to put your personality into it. You want to understand your audience and understand what they're looking for and how you can support them, and talk about that in any way, shape, or form, whether it's, like I say, through tips and images, through blog posts, through social media posts, through video, through what else did I miss? I don't know, whatever else I missed. So, and, just general interaction with people too. You want to be able to be connecting with people in the right places. And so you get a lot of insight in terms of what to create for marketing content whenever you are connecting with the right people. So I hope you found that helpful. I do apologize for the tech issues yesterday, and looks like it's all sorted out today with Google Chrome Beta, just so you know. And I'll put a little note on this video whenever it posts as well. And I would love to hear your questions and comments on creating marketing content. Anything you're stuck on and need some help through, that's what I'm here for. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Have a great day. I'll see you next week.